high of 8 Celsius.
For a more detailed local forecast, call Weather Update, sponsored by First Choice Holidays on 0891 55 9977.
Now in Granada, a look at the North West football results with Elton Wellesby.
Robbie Fowler cracked it this afternoon. 100 senior goals for Liverpool, reaching the magical ton quicker than Ian Rush. Very good afternoon, everybody. Well done to Robbie, who starred in one of only 2 Premiership matches that actually affected us this afternoon. 103 goals for Robbie now after his 4 against Middlesbrough this afternoon. Stig Inge Jorneby got the other one. 5-1 against Middlesbrough, who really are in free fall without a parachute. Blackburn holding out until 5 minutes to go against Wimbledon, whose unbeaten run now stretches back 90 matches. Everton play away to Derby County on Monday. So have a look at the top of 2. Liverpool, the top of the Premiership. Liverpool ahead of Wimbledon on goal difference only. Only 2 of the top 6 played today, and they both won. And complete opposite at the bottom. Only 2 played, Middlesbrough and Blackburn, and they both lost. Right, Jim's with us. Robbie Fowler, Jim. I mean, the man's just a scoring phenomenon.
Well, it's incredible again today. I mean, there's been so many good goal-scoring greats, hasn't there, at Anfield, and he's following suit again. I mean, fantastic finisher. To get 4 today and to reach another record like that, it's brilliant.
Right, well, Bolton have managed to preserve pole position in the First Division by drawing their previous 5 games and losing the other one. Jim, you watched that match against Ipswich this afternoon. No Nathan Blake or Jerry Taggart because of international duty. No Alan Thompson, who was injured. But they had Jamie Pollock here making his debut after his £1.5 million signing from Osasuna.
Yeah, he'll be, I think, a little bit disappointed, Jamie Pollock. I think his match fitness isn't up to scratch yet, and Colin Todd took him off in the second half. They were missing a lot of players. I still think Colin Todd would have expected more from them. The pitch may cause them problems in time. It's not looking great at the moment, but at the moment you can still play some good football on it, as Ipswich are proving here. First decent move of the match. Brannigan made a good save. Then an excellent save from the Ipswich keeper, Richard Wright, from Chris Fairclough. That was brilliant. There's a lot of expected of him. And then the goal came 6 minutes before half-time. There's a huge hole in the Bolton defence. This guy, Ulenbeek, the fullback, caused them problems all afternoon with his pace up the right side. And he laid it square for James Scowcroft. Second half, not a lot to report besides the goals. I think people felt the equaliser should be credited to Bergson. But I think here we've got proof on the replay that Ulenbeek's cleared it off the line. It's hit Tarico, the Argentinian, and I think it's got to go down as an own goal.
The central core, though, is all missing, isn't it? Taggart, Thompson and Blake.
And more proof again here. Again, they don't deal with it early. This is with a minute to go, and Scowcroft got a second. He was the hero of the day.
OK, Jim. Well, Oldham's unbeaten run came to an end last week, although they were bottom this morning. Mid-table isn't exactly out of sight. Now, Wolves are susceptible at home, and Oldham proved that again at Molineux this afternoon. Here's Simon Day.
In the opening minute, the Molineux crowd should have been singing as Steve Bull gave Latix an early scare, but his shot went drastically skywards. As if reacting to a wake-up call, Oldham answered 3 minutes later, and a lovely backheel from Barlow nearly brought an opportunity for Paul Rickers, but Wolves were let off. And after further neat play from Oldham, their early pressure eventually came up trumps on 15 minutes, thanks to the aerial prowess of Big Ian Ormondroyd, who made the most of Nicky Henry's delightful cross. Almost on the half hour, the end-to-end action brought Wolves their best chance yet to score, but Steve Bull was denied by Gary Kelly's lightning reaction. In the second, all the pressure was from Wolves, but Latix, thanks largely to Gary Kelly's continued splendid activity in the box, kept them on top. 10 minutes on and Toddy Orlickson came close, but the 1-0 win could prove crucial for Oldham's seasonal run-in.
Well, with the exception of their emphatic win over Birmingham, Port Vale hadn't scored more than once in a game for only 10 weeks. Now, Tony Naylor was the man early last month and was again today. Vale's best away performance in the league this season, no question about that. Here's Mike Sadler.
A simple goalkeeping error led to Charlton's opener, Phil Chappell, outleaping Paul Musselwhite to put the home side ahead. Minutes later, though, and Musselwhite redeemed himself in spectacular fashion. Important save it was, too. Within moments, the Charlton defence had let Tony Naylor in. His pace and composure triggering a fine individual afternoon and a splendid team fight back. The second half had barely started when another series of blunders gifted Naylor his second goal. With defending like this, it's a good job Chappell scored at the other end. Naylor's third, though, was made by John McCarthy's persistence and his precise pass. It's Naylor's first hat-trick this year. His seasonal tally stands at 13 goals.
Well, Tranmere no closer to the top two. John Aldridge no closer to Jimmy Greaves' all-time scoring record of 467. And Mark Steen scoring twice for Stoke, his first since going back there on loan from Chelsea. Bolton lead the way by one, which is quite extraordinary when you consider their recent run. And at the bottom, well, Oldham still in the bottom three, despite that excellent win at Molineux this afternoon. Well, Burnley have been going great guns. 6 wins and undefeated in their 8 games prior to the visit of today's leaders, Brentford. They're the second division's acid test at the moment, and Burnley, well, not quite up to it. John Wilson.
Adrian Heath billed it Burnley's biggest match of the season so far, but this David Ayres 20-yarder apart, the first half belonged to the visitors, as Brentford showed just why they're league leaders, and Carlos Saba showed why he's the second division's top scorer. He put Brentford ahead in the 15th minute, his 15th goal of the season. In truth, Brentford could have gone further ahead as Burnley struggled to find their rhythm, as Saba not far off meeting that Lee Harvey shot. Burnley's best move came just before half-time, Gary Parkinson forcing a save from Kevin Dearden. Within 10 minutes of the restart, Brentford extended their lead. Almost all their attacks were coming down the right-hand side, Lee Harvey crossing for Nick Forster to tap the ball home. That prompted Burnley's best spell of the game. David Ayres' long free kick saw Peter Swan pull one back for the Clarets with 5 minutes remaining. And with just seconds left, Burnley thought they'd saved a point and their 8-match unbeaten record. But their celebrations were short-lived, the referee disagreed, and Brentford were 2-1 winners.
Now, Lofthouse would have expected that to stand, wouldn't he? Well, they played the Fylde derby last night, Preston against Blackpool, and although Preston deserved it, a 3-goal margin was slightly flattering. Over 14,000 at Deepdale, the biggest in the league this season. Blackpool keeper Steve Banks went absent without need from his own 6-yard area when the game was finally poised. Substitute Gary Bennett had come off the bench to score for the second successive match. Bennett returned the defensive mishap in very accomplished style. 3 goals in 7 minutes as Blackpool's defence went AWOL. Record signing David Reeves will be asking for a new brand of deodorant at Christmas after that. Reeves then played his part in a basic corner kick routine. It's a near post flick on with a runner coming in at the far post. I'm surprised Blackpool haven't heard of it. Well, today's home banker, Stockport, with only 2 defeats in 23 games against Peterborough, managed by that Liverpool troubleshooter Barry Fry. Surprisingly, no goals. In Barry Fry's case, remarkably, no goals. Mike Sadler.
Incredibly, this was the first time since early September that County had failed to score. 23 matches in all, in fact. Tom Bennett there couldn't have come closer. And when Alan Armstrong beat all but the woodwork, everybody sensed that run of 4 successive victories had come to an end. It's hard to swallow, but the final score was 0-0.
2-2 for Bury, good away point. Enough said about the next result. A bad day at the office for Crewe. And Wrexham just a minute away from gaining a point at York. So it's Bury 4, Burnley 5 and Stockport 6 at the top of Division 2. Well, the opening chant at Spotland this afternoon was welcome home, chaps. It was only Rochdale's second game at home in 7 weeks. But it wasn't a case of many happy returns. Here's John Molson again.
It's been a wretched week for Rochdale defending here. Knocked out of 2 cups. Second from bottom, Hartlepool put 2 past them in under a minute just prior to half-time. Ex-Blackpool player Chris Beach got that one. The second one came from Stephen Howard as Rochdale failed to clear their lines. Joe Allen made it 3-0 to Hartlepool in the second half, and though Steve Whitehall pulled one back, this was a desperate result for Rochdale.
A point for Wigan and a rare home win for Chester. Just a quick look at the top of 3, can we? Yes, Wigan in 4th place. That's it from Goals Extra this afternoon from Jim and myself. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
There's still no direct threat.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Nick, this is the 3rd letter. How many more do you need before it becomes a police matter?
Stamping out the blackmailer in Heartbeat, Sunday at 8.
It's cartoon time.